Hello, my name is Daryl. I received a heart transplant 8.5 years ago, and I found out that I needed a transplant just by default. I actually went to the hospital for uh, a kidney. They found out it was my kidney that caused the blood clots to block the blood from going to my heart. Since my transplant, my life has changed drastically. Before I had the transplant, I played pro am basketball and didn't have any symptoms. Went to play a 6 game road trip, came home cramped up and cramped from head to toe. Called the ambulance. They took me to the hospital. Come to find out that I had was having problems with my kidneys, and I had just taken a physical with no issues. And they told me that it wasn't that they were bad, but it was because I had a blood clot in them. And it went on for 2 or 3 years. I had several surgeries uh, trying to get the blood clots out, uh, and it changed my life drastically because it ended up with me having to have a heart transplant. The most challenging part of my heart transplant journey was that I went to the doctor several times, and uh, I actually went to the doctor one time on a Monday for a checkup, and I had not heard from them on Thursday. I called them, and they started to scream, and so they told me to go to the hospital. They were waiting on me. I didn't have to check in, but they found out. I challenged the doctor, and he said, "Well, you have to go because your heart's not beating." So that was probably the most surprising part. But when I actually went to the hospital for the transplant, they told me I wasn't going home. I would not, if they let me go home, I wouldn't make it. And if I did make it, that they probably never see me again. But fast forwarding, they started the process of uh, elimination and trying to find out what all I was going to need. They actually put a heart pump in there. I had a kidney surgery, and my heart uh, went to it went to a reading of below two factor, and they told me I had to have a transplant or I was going to die. After which, we started a series of tests. There were 18 tests that you had to take multiple times, and I finally passed it all. And then they told me we were going to put you on the list, uh, and they put me on the list. 30 minutes later, they were coming into my room, screaming and saying, "Mr. Johnson, get the phone." I got the phone, and they the lady said, "I am the national director of heart transplants. We have a heart, and would you accept?" And I said yes. From that point, they started to prepare me, uh, and they did the paperwork and stuff, and they wheeled me down to where my family was, and uh, they told me that they were concerned about how long it was going to take, what I was going to go through, and stuff. And I told them, "Don't worry about a thing. I'll be back in a little bit." But before that, uh, the people that I was there in the hospital with, they had been there for some 4 years, and then 6 years. And when they heard about it, they came out of the halls clapping and stuff, and they could not believe, as I could not believe, that I was going to get a new heart. And at that point in time, I was prepped, went in. The surgery actually was supposed to take 9 hours. They were through in 5. The doctor told me after the procedure and stuff was over with, and it perfectly matched and everything, and that was just like unheard of. So I can truly say that I've been through it all. Uh, God brought me through it all. Afterwards, He told me, as before, about why I was going through it and the journey. He said it's finished, and since then, I have not had any problems with my heart, not one iota. What actually helped me go through my situation was I was blessed with a really great transplant team. They were very professional and encouraging. They were tough when they needed to be because sometimes the testing would get me down and I'd be weak. And but they were very professional. They helped me through it. Uh, the other thing was my faith. I'm a very strong, spirit filled uh, person, and I believe in God. And He uh, talked to me personally as I was praying and outlined for me how things were going to go, and they went exactly the way He said. And if it had not been for those two things, I probably would have just given up a lot of times because sometimes the testing would be very strenuous. You'd have to do a lot of things. And so I prayed, I laughed, I cried, and God just brought me through it. That's all I can say. I know the doctors have the skill and the education, but it all still comes down to Him. Since my surgery, I have made some changes in my life, in my lifestyle, which wasn't really bad at all, but I did have to make some changes. I couldn't go places, I could not travel, had to change my diet, um, and I had to give up playing basketball, which was a really major part of my life. But when you face with the reality of uh, either this or that, you choose this and you forget about that. And that's basically what I did. When I received the call to that they had a heart for me, I was excited and I was also very uh, quiet about it. Um, I did not, I was concerned, but I did not worry because God had already told me He was giving me a new heart. Uh, from that point on, I just smiled and I was ecstatic at people being happy for me. And that was a really great feeling to know that God had already told me that everything was going to be all right. As far as my health is concerned, I feel really good. I'm still not able to get to the point where I can play basketball again, but we're working on it. I actually uh, am very pleased with my progress. The doctors are pleased with it. Uh, they, I haven't had any problems out of it. It's been 8.5 years, and I can truly say the only thing that I don't like is some of the medicine, but you have to take it if you want to stay alive, and some of it you have to take it if you want to try and build your body back to where it was. But all in all, I can say that it's been good. My advice for those that are waiting for a transplant, that first you try and calm yourself, listen to your doctor, uh, make up your mind that whatever the outcome is going to be, that it's going to be positive, and then lastly, put your faith in God.